Well, welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Today, we're going to make a cutting board, charcuterie board. They call them charcuterie boards now instead of cutting boards. So that's what we're going to do today. I got some scrap pieces of spalted maple here, some padauk, some purple heart, and some hickory. And we're going to use that and we're going to make a cutting board. So welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Please feel free to share, subscribe, and like. My name is Paul Courtwright, and let's get started on our video. Hang tight. All right, so here's what we're working with. I got this piece of spalted maple here that we're going to be working with. Got to remember where the camera's at. But anyway, then I got this piece of purple heart here that I'm going to be working with. And a piece of hickory, these two pieces here. And then a couple pieces, a short piece of purple, or padauk. So my shortest piece here is, I believe, it's about 11 inches long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this board about 11 inches long here on my chop saw. And then we're going to split this and then do some glue up. So let's get this cut here and we'll go from there. So about 11 inches long is what I'm looking at. All right, so I got this piece here, and then this one here, I've got a bad spot right there that I'm going to split off a piece here. So to do that, I need to figure out, that'll go in there like so, and this will have to be 11 inches. So I'm going to cut it just about where that is, split it, but I'm not going to do that just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it all together, and then once I get it all glued together, then I'll come back and I'll split that off and then cut it to length and do all that good stuff. So let's go over to the, I guess, the table saw, and since these are all cut, we need to cut these down. But actually, I think I'm going to leave them the length, so that way it gives me a little bit more room to work. And I'm going to figure out is where I got to put this to get the right thing. And I might cut these to length down here, cut off this end part down here. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick, and that will make it easier to glue. So that being said, let's do one at a time. As you can see, I got this little part right there I want to cut off. So there's one, and this one here, I'm going to end up cutting, I'm going to cut it off from this end. Cut it off from this end here. I'm just going to cut it right there. Now I got a straight edge I can work with. So this is basically, let's go get set up and we'll glue it, and we're going to glue all this together, and then I'll show you what I got my next stop is. All right, so here we are. We're going to glue this up. So I've already got that edge finished up. I'll put this here. And I need to cut me a slot this way. Yes. So I am going to have to cut that piece off. Let's go back. I got to get my table saw back out. Just realized that. Hang tight. All right, so what I need to do is I need to cut about a 4.5 inch piece off. So I'm going to set my table saw at 4.5. And I'm going to rip this like so. Yeah, that'll give me that. Okay. Yeah. And you can see how that's pretty rotted and everything else. So no big deal. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to take my piece, and these two pieces will go like this, be like this, because I kind of want them there. And what I want to do is I want to cut me a piece 8 inches. I'll get my pencil here and we'll mark it 8 inches from this end here. And 8 inches from here. Okay. So get rid of my fence here and get my miter gauge up. Get the miter gauge and drop it on the floor. Okay. So I'm going to cut this 8 inches off here like so. Yep, about right there. Is that right? Make sure I got my 8 inches. Yep. Cut my right side 8 inches. Okay. Save this piece, that piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a triangle here. Them two go together. Cut my 8 inches here. Okay. Mark this here. Like this. I'm just going to put 2 lines on this one, like that. Okay, so this will go like this. Let's get rid of this here, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. And I know I'm going to get some comments about gluing end grain together. I know I'm going to get it, but guess what? There is a trick to it. There is a trick to it. So that will go something like that. That will go like that. That one will go like that. Actually, this one will go here. And this one goes up here. Yeah. That's what we're looking at. Yeah. It'll go like that. So that one will go here. And this one will go here. And we're going to take our parts. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of Paduke there. Piece of hickory, and purple heart in the middle. And that's what it'll look like. And I know people are going to say you can't glue end grain to side grain, but there is a way to do it. And I'll show you that in a second. So that's what we're doing right there. Cool? All right, let's get set up to do some gluing then. Hang tight. All right, so this is what somebody had told me how to glue end grain to side grain to do it. And they said it works real well. Using Titebond 3 glue. So first of all, since this is end grain, I take and smear some glue on this. Smear some glue on this one. Put some glue on this one. And put some glue on this one. All right, now we're going to spread it out. And I'm just going to spread it out real good. Like so. Like that. That. And that. And we're going to let that set for roughly 3 to 4 minutes. Okay? So now this piece here, these pieces here, let me get these out of your way. So you can see, these pieces here are all going to get the glue together this way. So what I want to do is lay them out like that. And then this one won't get glue on it just yet. Actually, it will. But yeah, it will. They'll all get glue on it. So I'm just going to put a strip of glue down here. And I'll spread that out. And use that glue spreader that God gave me. And we'll spread it out. You just want to cover everything nice and good. Get it all nice and covered with glue. Get a good coat on that. Now, I was kind of always told that burn marks have to watch, but then I was told that burn marks don't matter too much. So anyway, take this piece here. We're going to lay that on top of there. I'm going to lay that there. That one goes here. And this one goes here. Just like that. Okay, so that's that part of it. I kind of want to keep these ends fairly close. Okay, just like that. Now, we'll take these pieces here and put another strip of glue right on top of that. Spread that out just a little bit, and we want a little bit extra on it. That'll go right there. And then, since I'm going to glue these to that, we're going to put a piece here. Spread that out. And we want to put some up on top here. And we'll put that there like so. Put that right there. Okay. Do the same thing with this. Except for, I think, no, that's right, that's right, that's right. Never mind. I was thinking wrong. This one goes up here, like so. And then this one will go down here. Make sure I got my right side here. It's got to go like that. We'll put this together here like so. Spread that a little bit. And this will go here. Got carried away and put the glue up here. I didn't need it, but that's all right. Okay, next thing we need to do is put some clamps on it. So I'm going to put clamps here and here first. I'm going to use these bar clamps. Actually, yeah. I'm going to put them down here first. One right here. And I'm going to put plenty of clamps on this. I have enough room to put clamps there. I'm going to slide this over the edge so I can tighten them. That right there. Just want to snug them for a minute. Then I'm going to put clamps this way. Got to raise this one up just a hair so that I can get this clamps in there. Put this in here. Like that. That. And I need another clamp here. That's I'm probably only going to get one on this one. Okay, now I want to go this way with them. And I'm going to go this side here. Okay. Okay. I gotta move this one the other direction so I can get my clamp on there. Put this one here. And we'll put this one up on top. Right there. All right, now let's get these all tightened up and we'll be in good shape. Damn it. you over. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Knocked you off there. So let's get this tightened up. Clamps all tightened up. Okay, so tighten these two up. This one tightened up this way. And then we'll do these two. Probably could have done this in a couple glue ups, be better, but that's all right. We'll tighten these two up. And then this one here. And then these two again. There we are. And I'll let that dry for 24 hours or so, and then we'll come back and we'll cut it. So hang tight, and I got one that I've already got glued up that I'll show you what I'm doing next, and we'll go from there. So hang tight. All right, so here we are. Basically what I got one that I've already glued up. This one's maple, walnut, maple, Paduke, maple, walnut, and walnut and maple. So I already got this one glued up. So what we want to do is clean this off. So I'm going to run it through my drum sander, and let's go from there and see what happens. Clean it up and we'll go from there. So put that in here. Just kind of raise it up just that's barely touching. That's where I want got my thickness. All right. All I'm doing now is just smoothing it out, getting it done. So probably what I should do first is do something. So hang tight. I'll be right back in 1 second. I'm going to do something. All right, we're back. I just kind of got rid of some of the excess glue. We're going to run it through again. Raise it up just about a quarter of a turn and just run it through. Goes real slow, and it'll take off whatever excess we got. Clean it up. That one there is not hitting much. I could probably run this through my planer. But I don't know, I just do it this way, it's easier. Take my time and get it cleaned up pretty quick, pretty easily. Then the other thing I do is, as you can see, it's getting real close. I'll take this chalk here and what I do is take this and I just start running across everything. Color this all in. You know, tell me what is sanded and what's not. I just do this a couple times. Make sure everything's covered. Alright, so I'll just keep running this through. There's no use you watching it. It's like watching paint dry. And I'll be right back once I'm done. Hang tight. Alright, well, welcome back. I got her sanded. I forgot to mention, all this is chalk that your kids would use right on your sidewalk chalk. That's all that is. So, next thing I want to do is I want to trim off the ends. So I'm back at my table saw. And we're going to trim off the ends. I'm just going to take a little bit off both sides. So got my miter gauge out. And I'm just going to take a little bit off each end. Nothing major. Okay, so I got my ends, I'm going to cut a little bit more off that. I burned that a little bit because I want to clean that edge up. Get rid of my scraps here. Alright, let me cut the end of that off one more time. That's better. That's better. Got that there. All right. So the next thing I want to do is basically do some sanding on it. And then we'll chamfer these edges. And we'll be about done with this project. So hang tight and we'll get set up and do a little sanding. All right. So here we are. We're going to do a little sanding. I got my little Orville sander here. I'll go through the grits. I got 120 on it right here. Dust mask on. And here we go. All right, I'll sand the other side and go through my grits and I'll be right back. Hang tight. right, so I'm not sure how much of that you caught. Not sure how much of that you caught. Turned it off or something, I don't know. Anyway. Press across and let's do it. That side, now let's do the other side. All right, so let's go back to the cement bench and we'll do a little more sanding. Hang tight. All right, so we're back at the bench. We're going to do a little sanding and then we'll go from there. All right, so I'm just going to go through the grits again from 120 to 220. Hang tight. All right, so we have it sanded. I think it looks pretty good. Let's go over and what we're going to do is finish it. So what we're going to do is we're going to wipe it down with alcohol first, and then we'll put a coat of coconut oil on it. So hang tight and we'll go do that. All right, so here we are. I got some denatured alcohol here, and I got just an old rag. Just spray some denatured alcohol on this, wipe it down, gets all the dust and everything else off of it. As you can see, takes all the dust off of it. It kind of shows you what's going to happen to the wood once you put the oil on it. And I like using coconut oil on stuff that I think people might use for like food service or something in that nature. Because coconut oil is food safe, obviously. And it's a non-allergenic. So that makes it nice. So you can get away with people that have nut allergies. I've been told it's non-allergenic. That's why you see a lot of places who use nut oil, coconut oil in their food. Non-allergenic. At least that's what I'm told. All right. So I got it down, and the alcohol dries pretty quick. So I don't have to worry about that too much. And as you can tell, just by looking at the rag, how much dirt came off that. All right. And I take my rag here, and coconut oil, when it's cool, it's a paste. But then when you warm it up, it becomes a liquid, and it'll just soak right in. And as you can see, I'll put like 2-3 coats of this on this, and it'll be good. So as you can see how it really brings the grain out. Rub it in real good. I'll show you. And you can see the difference between this part down here not being done and the top part. How it just brings the grain out on it. Like I said, I just rub it in good. And I'll let this dry, and then tomorrow I'll come back and I'll put a second coat on it. It's very forgiving when it comes to use because it's easy to apply. After you use these a while, the oil kind of wears off, and you just put some more on it. Makes it easy. And I know there's different people out there that say coconut oil is not a very good wood conditioner, if you want to call it that, but that's what walrus oil, if you know what that is, finish, that's what that is, made with coconut oil. I just don't have the wax in. I got pure coconut oil that I'm using. That's the difference between walrus oil and just straight up coconut oil. But nevertheless, you didn't get to see the one we cut and glued together, because that's got to set for like 24 hours before I can do anything with it. And I'll go through the same process as what I just did to this one. And if you come to some of my shows this summer or this year, you'll see these cutting boards. I'll have them up for sale. So this is probably, I don't know, a $65 cutting board right here, in my opinion. I don't know. Just making sure I got everything covered. There we go. All right, so there's our final product. As you can tell, I think it looks pretty good. So that being said, thank you for stopping by Wood Chip Woodworking. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Curious to hear what people say, and let's go from there. Till next time, have a good evening. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.